Man proposes, God disposes. Ethiopia has never had to bear the yoke of slavery. To this, history and the world bear witness. Ethiopia, jealous of her freedom, has always had to struggle, both for the sake of her territorial integrity and for the preservation of her religious liberty. The heroism developed in the blood of our people and passed from generation to generation had served to this day as a bulwark of our freedom. The glories and advantages of freedom cannot be purchased with all the world's material wealth. Freedom's price is the sacrifice of the lives of innumerable heroes. In deep realization of this, it becomes the duty of free men everywhere to be ever prepared for the defense of their freedom. The purpose of the organizations is, in essence, the securing of the highest attainable standard of health to every human being without distinction of race, religion, political belief, economics, or social position. In her long and glorious history, Ethiopia has time and again had to struggle against overwhelming odds to preserve intact her traditional freedom and independence. To guarantee that from generation to generation, the right of free men to work out their destinies without interference or hindrance. The world is only now coming to realize what Ethiopia and Africa have long recognized, that peace, independence, and the prosperity of mankind can be achieved and assured only by the collective and unified efforts of free men who are prepared to maintain eternal vigilance and labor unceasingly to protect these most precious of God's gifts. Technical and scientific advances have combined to raise mankind to a level of material achievement never before realized. We are particularly gratified and proud that this development has been so marked and widespread on the great continent of Africa. Africa will no longer be the unknown continent, for its human and material resources are beyond measure. This great continent now stands on the verge of an economic, political, and cultural development, which, when realized, will be without parallel in history. As an integral part of Africa, Ethiopia looks back with pride to the role she has played in the history of Africa's development. With other great and free nations assembled today in Ghana, Ethiopia contemplates the future of Africa with confidence. Mankind today has reached a level of material achievements never realized in the world's history, and it is an important mission of the independent African states to ensure that these benefits are guaranteed to all people of Africa, to eliminate poverty, backwardness, and illiteracy from the African continent. History of modern Ethiopia, combining as it does modernity with antiquity of tradition, will move forward. Ethiopia has been especially blessed with an abundance of natural resources, and the prolific amount of her annual rainfall makes her aptly called the water tower of the Horn of Africa. Millions of square miles of territory, together with millions of human beings and their livestock, depend on the water that flows from Ethiopia's mountains, and from her comes more than 2/3 of the water of the Nile. It is the duty and privilege of this generation and its prosperity to conserve and develop these precious resources. To fail to do so will be to fail in our God-given responsibilities. We express our most profound gratitude to God Almighty for having inspired us to envisage this project and having enabled us to see it inaugurated. This is not to say money is not essential for meeting your needs and those of your families. However, one must not be so overcome by the desire for riches that he neglects the greater and nobler aim, that of serving his country. It is only when man becomes master of his fate, able to determine his destiny, that he can be free from fears and inferiority. Such an individual or a nation stands respected by all. For us Africans, the conference of the heads of states held in May last is an adequate proof that we are determined to be masters of our fate, owners of our wealth, and capable of moving the adjective dark from the name of our continent.